Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Delhi election results have had a shock and awe effect on Aam Aadmi Party as well as Arvind Kejriwal, who it seems has lost the moral authority to run his party as well because he's not even an MLA after losing the New Delhi constituency. Now, what has happened is that there are questions raised over the future of Aam Aadmi Party. Is it facing an existential crisis? What will happen to Arvind Kejriwal? Now, there are reports, and of course, on the conditions of anonymity, few Aam Aadmi Party leaders have said that he is trying to get a backdoor entry into Rajya Sabha. Now, what is going to be the impact on the state units of Aam Aadmi Party, especially places like Punjab, places like Haryana, in Gujarat, where the party tried to revive to some extent? So we'll try and discuss all of this. A very special guest we have this evening, a veteran journalist, author, political commentator, and someone who's been part of the Aam Aadmi Party earlier. Joining me this evening is Ashutosh. Thank you so much, Ashutosh, for
Thank you.
joining on HW News. It's always a pleasure having you on the program. And I read one or two articles which you had written post the election results which came. And those articles really reflected, your proximity with the party and how closely you read the party and tried to decipher the ways in which the party was running. But your first thoughts really, I want to know that is this the biggest catastrophe which Aam Aadmi Party has faced since the time it was born?
Uh, See, Neelu, when I was thinking that Aam Aadmi Party might lose, I had that apprehension in my mind, and apprehension was for the simple reason because Aam Aadmi Party was not the same party I used to know, and it was a different kind of political party which has really attracted a person like me, who was, I will not call myself as anti-politics, but I hated traditional politics. So when I was attracted to the basic idea of Aam Aadmi Party, and I realized that this is the party which has the potential to change the society and which has the potential to change the politics of the country. But 10 years down the line, in around 2023, 22, or 24, it was very clear that this is not the same party I used to know. This is not the Arvind Kejriwal I used to know. This is not the idea of Aam Aadmi. The party has completely changed. Party has become one of the political parties. So the minute I saw that, I was dreading that Aam Aadmi Party is heading for trouble, and our Aam Aadmi Party might lose its brand value, might lose the attraction which it had for the middle class, especially middle class. And why I'm mentioning middle class, because Aam Aadmi Party originally was a middle class revolution, because it is a middle class overwhelmingly supported Aam Aadmi Party, and gave him 67 seats. That was unprecedented, historic. So when the assembly election approached, I had somewhere at the back of my mind that Aam Aadmi Party might lose this election. Though there was always a conflict between the heart and the mind. And the mind was saying that Aam Aadmi Party can lose, but the heart was saying, no, 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 there's still a lot of good things in Aam Aadmi Party. And I still believe there are a lot of good things in Aam Aadmi Party. But as you know, when Arvind Kejriwal himself lost in New Delhi constituency, that is something which has to be understood. Aam Aadmi Party can say many things, that the election was manipulated, the administration did all kinds of dirty tricks. But the issue is, this was the man in 2013 when he contested election against Sheila Dikshit. Sheila Dikshit was the chief minister, a very popular chief minister. He defeated her by 25,000 votes. That was no joke. So
No, but
he defeated because he had certain aura around him. When that aura was
right.
gone, then it was easy for BJP to defeat him.
But Ashu, the general perception about Kejriwal has been that he was a man who was very, very active on the ground. And he had a sharp nose for the political sense as to what was really happening in his constituency. And apart from that, in other constituencies of Delhi and elsewhere. A man who was so closely rooted to the ground, how could he not sense such a big storm which was, coming towards his own party, towards himself, in his own constituency? How did he lose that sense?
It's a really mystery for me. It's not about losing touch with the people. Uh, because you remember few years back, he created that chief minister's bungalow into some luxury kind of a thing, luxury
Yes.
hotel kind of a thing. I have not been able to figure it out. That somebody who was talking about that minister should live in two-room bungalows could do something like this. So the transformation which has taken in Aam Aadmi Party is reflective of the malaise which was hurting Aam Aadmi Party. And this chief minister's bungalow is basically nothing else but a reflection of that malaise. That a movement which has started with purity, the movement which talked about simplicity, the party which took a lot of pride that, look, the common men and women, they contested election and they had defeated all the stalwarts in Delhi, stalwarts from BJP, stalwarts from the Congress party. And why this has happened? This has happened because people had faith in them that these are idealists, they have something good for the country, and if they become chief minister, if they form the government, the country will change. That basic faith and the trust was broken when the same common man found that his own chief minister is now living in a five-star facility. He's moving into the chartered planes. He's staying in the presidential suites, and he surrounded himself with all kinds of security paraphernalia, and he stopped meeting with people. So obviously the basic trust was broken somewhere, and it is because of that broken trust that he lost election. It is not the BJP which has defeated Aam Aadmi Party. It is the Aam Aadmi Party which has defeated Aam Aadmi Party. It is not the BJP which has defeated. It is not the Parvesh Verma who has defeated Kejriwal. It is the
Right.
Kejriwal himself defeated himself.
Right.
He himself defeated himself. So
No, but
I fail to understand that how come he transformed himself so much. What was the trigger? I'm still searching for the answer.
right. No, but that's really a quite an intriguing factor. But if you look at the hindsight now, what you say that he transformed or he transformed himself by living into luxury suites and talking about the Sheesh Mahal. But did a reality dawn on Arvind Kejriwal that the idealism with which he penetrated into politics, apparently that idealism doesn't work in the Indian political fabric? Was that a reality which dawned on him, and then apparently that was the trigger and he transformed himself? Could that be an explanation?
I don't think so. Uh, See, if tomorrow if I find that BJP has compromised on Hindutva, uh, and look at in 1984 what happened. In 1980, when the Janata Party was broken into many parts and the Bharatiya Janata Party was created, it just moved away from Hindutva. It adopted Gandhian socialism. And in 1984, one can argue that it is Mrs. Gandhi's assassination was reason for such a pathetic performance by BJP. But in my opinion, yes, that contributed a lot. But to be reduced to only 2 seats, Atal Bihari Vajpayee himself losing his own seat, means the people have not accepted BJP talking about Gandhian socialism. People wanted BJP to talk about Hindutva because there was a party which, since its inception, has been talking about Hindutva. So the minute BJP moved away from Hindutva, its demise was certain. When the BJP went back to Hindutva, BJP regained its mojo, and look where they are today.
Right.
Narendra Modi became 2014 the prime minister. He has not moved an inch from Hindutva. He might be talking about the Muslims and other things, but he had not moved even an inch from there. So, what was the core value of Aam Aadmi Party? The core value of Aam Aadmi Party was that they are idealist, they are pure, they are simple, and they want to change the country. And this is what we used to say when we were in Aam Aadmi Party, that we are not here to do politics, but to change politics.
Right.
When you remove the other word, that is change politics, and you started doing politics, that is when the demise was certain. And this is what exactly happened. There were so many occasions when Arvind Kejriwal should have resigned and gone to the people, should have dissolved assembly. Like when Supreme Court has given a verdict in their favor, and Modi government came out with the ordinance and changed the Supreme Court order, and made the representative government subordinate to the Lieutenant Governor. I think that was the day when Arvind Kejriwal should have resigned and would have said, Supreme Court is with me, Constitution is with me, people are with me, but look how Modi government is trying to capture power in Delhi. I'm not here to do politics. I'm not here to capture power. I'm not here to remain as the chief minister. If the democracy is murdered in this country, if democracy is killed in Delhi, I will not be a partner to that crime. I'm resigning, going to the people, and will ask people to whether the Modi government has done something good or bad. He did
Right.
not do that. So what was the perception created? The perception was created that this man wants to stick to the chief ministers, come what may, even if he has no powers. So
Absolutely.
then, when he was arrested by ED, he said, "I will run government from jail." What are you trying to say? This has never happened in Indian politics, but he did that. That was also the time when, in fact, I was of the opinion that with the first notice he has gone, the first summon which he had got from the enforcement directorate, with the first summons could reach his house, he should have gone to the enforcement directorate office and would have said, "My life is an open book. Please check it. I will stay here for another 15 days with you officers. You, whatever questions you want to ask those questions. You want to grill me, you want to torture me, do it. I am here." But when you started avoiding those summons, he avoided 9 summons from the ED. ED had gone to the High Court. High Court did not come to his rescue, and then ED came and arrested him. What message you are trying to tell? The people must have thought that why he's avoiding ED, why he's avoiding investigation, and even the High Court has not come to his rescue. That means there is something wrong with him. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Please.
go ahead. No, go ahead, please. Go ahead. You complete your
So
point, then I'll
people thought that this is not the man I used to know. This was the man. In 49 days, he resigned, and the message was very clear. We do not have the mandate. Our government is supported by the Congress, so I can't run the government the way I want. I can't change politics. I can't change the government. I can't change the basic fabric of the administration. Please give me fresh mandate. And people had given him fresh mandate, 67 out of 70. So when Aam Aadmi Party started losing its moral fabric, that is the day it was written on the walls that this party will be defeated. So it's not the BJP which has defeated Aam Aadmi Party. It is Aam Aadmi Party itself has defeated Aam Aadmi Party.
That's a very important observation. And while I hear you speak, I can feel the pain and agony, even though you're not part of the Aam Aadmi Party anymore. You quit the party way long back. But I can sense that pain and agony, that something which is very significant, and it was part of the main fabric of the Aam Aadmi Party, and that has really gone missing. What do you think now is the way out for Aam Aadmi Party? There are fears looming large that the party might disintegrate. BJP might conduct Operation Lotus in Punjab. Then there are reports about Arvind Kejriwal trying to keep the flock together, and that's why this entire report of he getting a backdoor entry into Rajya Sabha is being discussed right now. What do you think is the most idealistic option currently now for Arvind Kejriwal? You've seen him, and you've seen him functioning earlier as well. What do you think is the best option suited for him right now?
See, Neelu, you are right. Today I'm unhappy. Rather than unhappy, I'm very upset. Upset for the simple reason because in life, very rarely you fall in love with someone. I was in love with the idea of Aam Aadmi Party, because I would have gone. I was a successful journalist. I was an editor. I could have gone to any political party. I could have gone to the BJP. I could have gone to the Congress. Would have gone to the regional political parties. Would have experimented with that kind of politics. I would have succeeded or not succeeded. That is something else. I decided to experiment with Aam Aadmi Party because I could see in myself that there is a possibility that this traditional politics, which has ruined this country, can be reformed, can be changed, and Aam Aadmi Party can be an engine for that, can be an agent for that change. So I fall in love with that the idea of Aam Aadmi Party. So when after a few years you realize that no, you're fallen in love with something else. It's not the same idea you were in love with that. So you feel unhappy, you feel disturbed, you feel very upset. And that's the reason when I decided no, I will not continue with this idea, because this is not the idea I wanted to be in. So I left Aam Aadmi Party. Again, I had an option to go to the BJP. Again, I had an option to go to the Congress. And they were ready to take me. I did not go there because I was so much in love with the idea of Aam Aadmi Party, so much in love with that idea itself, that nothing could fascinate me. It's like it's like an adolescent which first time falls in love with, and he never forgets his first love affair. So it was something like that. It was though it's a midlife crisis for me in that sense. But yes, the truth is that I still in love with that idea called Aam Aadmi Party. I'm still in love with that. It's a sad thing that I'm no longer with them.
Right. But tell me honestly, I mean, you joined Arvind Kejriwal at that time when he needed you a lot, and you were in love with that idealistic, thought with which you joined the party. Now, if Kejriwal calls you and tells you to join his party and rescue him, would you be ready to do that?
That time is gone. Uh, it's something like this. You were in love with some woman, and you part ways with some agony and some angst, and after 10 years you don't go back with the same vengeance, with same warmth. That something breaks in between. So
Right.
something is broken, and I do not know that whether I know for sure that he will not call me, and I'm very sure that even if he calls me, I will not go back to that thing. I'm happy in my own space. Yes, sometimes it troubles me, sometimes it makes me very unhappy, and sometimes I'm really disturbed that did I make a mistake by going over there. I never said to myself that I made a mistake. Maybe in some other space and time, I'm an optimist, and I'm a great follower of Gandhi and Nehru. But I think with that time is gone. There's no possibility of me going back to Aam Aadmi Party or joining politics of any shade. Nobody knows what happens in future, but as of now, about the alternatives, uh, see, if Aam Aadmi Party has been like any other political party, like conventional party, a traditional party, it was very easy for them to bounce back. Because loss and the success and loss, these are part of the politics. Sometimes you're a chief minister, sometimes you're a pauper, nobody knows you. But I have seen many political parties, political leaders bouncing back with vengeance and regaining the old power and all that. But the problem is that Aam Aadmi Party was not a conventional political party, and its most important connect with the people was the moral fiber. That if that moral fiber is gone, then I do not know whether they can regain that moral fiber. It's very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very difficult. So, and then Aam Aadmi Party doesn't have the institutional memory. It doesn't have the history to fall back on. Like Congress Party has a history of 125 years. Whenever they're in crisis, they can always go back and history and correct themselves. There is always the institutional support. Same thing with the BJP and Samajwadi Party and others. Aam Aadmi Party doesn't have that kind of institutional memory and the support from history. That is why I'm saying now it all depends on the genius of one man, that's called Arvind Kejriwal, and it will be real test of his mettle, because whatever he has got in a very short span of time, which nobody had imagined, when he had not imagined. Now, when he's in real crisis, then whether he can resurrect himself, I'm not writing obituary of him, because that's not right to write about anybody, because we are humans. We do not know what is going to happen in future. But I see very difficult days for him, and alternatives are very limited. And if he tries to experiment with Punjab, then I do not know whether the Punjab will accept him or his party again. Because Punjab has a very different kind of political environment, very different kind of the social environment. It needs a different kind of politics. The whole tricks in Delhi, which succeeded, might not succeed in Punjab. So I see difficult days for him, and my good wishes are with him. And
But Ashu, a leader is always as good as the team he has. And I really want to know from you the kind of people who were guiding him, the kind of people who were advising him. And now, I mean, this is a very natural question which will come on anybody's part, that who are these team members who are advising Arvind Kejriwal that he couldn't analyze, he couldn't assess as to what was happening on the ground? Was he misled? What is your feeling? Was he misled by the team of advisors he had, or by the coterie which surrounded him?
see, it's easy to blame coterie or it's easy to blame advisors. Finally, the onus lies on the leader itself. The buck should stop at his table. Because even if he has surrounded himself with idiots, then it is he to be blamed. If he's surrounded with brilliant people, the credit goes to him. If he's surrounded with non-political people, then again it is he who's to be responsible. The issue is the leader has to decide what kind of people, what kind of advisors they want to have. Among the advisors, whether there are people who could disagree with the leader, but disagreement with the leader does not mean that the person concerned is revolting against him. The person concerned, if he's honest or she's honest, he will give an honest feedback, an honest opinion. It's up to the leader to accept or reject that. But if you are surrounded by people who are dishonest people, who are basically power seekers, who are the power grabbers, who are non-political, have no understanding of politics, have no understanding of politics of history, the history of politics, then obviously, and if you want to have robots in your team that whose software is written by the leader itself, and the robots can act only what has been programmed and fed, then obviously you are alone, and alone at the top. And when you are alone at the top, then obviously there will be issues. Look at Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi, since he became the Chief Minister of Gujarat, his team is intact. There's hardly anybody who has left except Prashant Kishore. Nobody has left Modi's team. So a leader is known by the team he keeps. And if the leader is so blind that he doesn't know what kind of people are around him, and the good people are leaving him, and the people with selfless people, honest people, men of integrity, women of integrity is leaving him, and if he can't see why people are leaving him, then the problem lies with him, not with anybody else. And some of the brilliant minds I had worked with them in Aam Aadmi Party had left him. They were disgusted, they were dejected, and they were very unhappy with him because the way he used to function. Many people can say that, why are you saying something like this today? I'm saying today because this is the time it has to be said. When the man, everybody thinks that everything is going well, that probably that was the time when you should keep yourself a little away. I've been writing it for the last 3 years that Aam Aadmi Party is no longer a party. It is like any other political party. Arvind Kejriwal is like any other political leader. I was trying to hint that this is party is heading towards a debacle. So
And
alternatives, very
these
limited
prices.
alternatives. Yeah?
But since you're saying that you've been warning through your writings that this was the kind of future which Aam Aadmi Party was headed to, so could you see this kind of a storm coming, and which Arvind Kejriwal failed to? But since you were writing, you were mentioning, you were emphasizing it time and again, so you saw this coming.
No, I was sorry. It will be wrong to say that I was warning someone. As a journalist, I could read. As a journalist, it's my job to try to understand the politics, trying to understand the trends in the politics, try to understand how the politics is changing. It's my job to understand BJP, Aam Aadmi Party, and the Congress. So Aam Aadmi Party was one of those political parties. But since I had an association with Aam Aadmi Party, so it becomes more a fascination for me to understand what's happening there. Is something changing? When I could see that something is changing, that I wrote all those. But it was not to warn Aam Aadmi Party or to anybody else, but for my own understanding and for the understanding of those who was willing to read my articles. It will be dishonest on my part to say that I could see the storm, but I was definitely seeing the trends. I was definitely seeing that the party is on decline, and this could lead to some kind of a disaster. But whether this could lead to a disaster in 2025 or later, I couldn't. I wasn't very sure about it. But yes, I could say that the party was heading for a trouble.
But Ashu, do you think that Arvind Kejriwal now is facing a situation where he's damned if he does, and he's still damned if he doesn't do anything? Now, say for example, these reports about him getting a backdoor entry into Rajya Sabha. Now, if you remember, on the day when the election results were declared, we've never heard that a secretariat was sealed and for the safety of the records, and things, those developments were really shocking, and everybody started discussing why on earth was the Delhi secretariat being sealed. Now, if that is the kind of vengeance with which BJP is going to conduct itself, do you think that BJP is really going to spare Arvind Kejriwal even if he gets a backdoor entry into Rajya Sabha? Or do you see the possibility? You remember what Prime Minister Modi said while he was addressing the party workers at his evening victory speech, where he said that nobody is going to be spared, new files will be opened, we'll get into more investigations. So, which means that these are troubled times for Arvind Kejriwal. Even if he gets into a Rajya Sabha, things won't look very easy for him.
See, the Prime Minister himself speaking is an ominous sign.
Yes.
I haven't heard Prime Minister saying something like this. But on a day when the party was victorious, if he made it a point to say those words, that means it's a hard days ahead for Arvind Kejriwal. Very, very hard days ahead for Kejriwal. It's not about opening files or about investigations, but otherwise also. He's already in trouble because of the liquor scam and because of the other cases. So, and he has already been in jail for 6 months. So what I'm dreading is that maybe in recent future, again the same thing should happen to him, or might happen to him. Cases are still there, and
So you see the possibility of him going back to the jail again?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind. Not only him, but others also.
My God. So, what happens to the party as such? I mean, we are left with just few people, 22 MLAs in Delhi, and then you have about 94, I think, yes, 94 MLAs in Punjab. How do you think that the party is going to run? Do you think Bhagwant Mann will run the party, or for that matter, if there is a possibility and Sanjay Singh and Manish Sisodia might go back to jail again, then whom are you left with to run the party then?
It's difficult to point a finger at anybody, because crisis creates in own leadership. You never know, but I can only say that God forbid something like this should not happen to them. I had worked with them; they are my friends. They were my friends, so something like should not happen to them. But I could read the writings on the wall. It's very, very possible.
And my last question to you, Ashu, is that you really see this as some kind of a turning point in politics? Because I was reading your article and that line really touched me, where you said that, the fall of the Crusader is the death of a dream. And that line really touched the chord when you mentioned that line. Do you see this now as some kind of a big turning point in politics?
Not in Indian politics per se, but it's a turning point in the sense because people are feeling betrayed. All those people, I'm not talking about the people in general, but all those people who had a hope, the big hope, who had dreamt with Kejriwal, dreamt with Anna Hazare, dreamt with all the volunteers, the selfless volunteers, and dreamt that the India will change one day. Those, it's a death of that dream. The history moves, time moves, it doesn't stop for anybody. So the world will not stop for Aam Aadmi Party. The world will not stop for Arvind Kejriwal. This history will move, but certainly it has given a big jolt to any future movements. Because suppose in future, if anybody stands up and says, "Hey, I want to change the politics, join me," people will look at him will look at her with suspicion. Will he? Because the people will go back in history and say, long back there was a man who said something like this, but look what happened to him. So whether should I join them, join him, or join her. So there will be skepticism, there will be suspicion. So it has damaged those future potentials in that sense. But you never know. Well, history moves, everything moves. It's for me, sitting over here, passing a judgment on many things is easier. But the process of history is very different. You never know. Tomorrow, if somebody else rises and says, "I'll change the things," and people start going with him or her.
Absolutely. One quick question before I wind up, and that was a bit which I forgot, and that's about how easy governance is going to be as far as BJP is concerned. Now they will have no excuses to make. They will have to demonstrate a lot, and with a majoritarian agenda with which BJP tries to run forces. Do you think that it's going to be acceptable to the Delhiites, though they voted in huge numbers for the BJP? But how easy is it that going to be for BJP now?
See, as the governance goes, administration goes, it will be very easy, because the problem with the Aam Aadmi Party was that he was faced with a lieutenant governor in Delhi and in center Narendra Modi government. Now, the lieutenant governor belongs to the BJP, Modi government belongs to the BJP, and the assembly and the state government belongs to the BJP. So there will be a lot of hand-holding and coordination between them. They won't be facing the same problem as Arvind Kejriwal and other opposition government are facing in different states. So it will be very smooth in that sense. And this is a golden opportunity for the BJP to showcase Delhi as a model state for the rest of the country, because the global media and the national media both are stationed in Delhi. So they will be on watch. And that's what I'm saying. It's a great opportunity for them to showcase and kill all the inhibitions or skepticism which people had about BJP. That BJP comes into power with a lot of pomp and show, but they fail to deliver. Look at Narendra Modi. He's a third-time prime minister. But there are so many issues around it. And it looks like as if he is only running from one election to another election, and at the cost of the governance and the cost of the administration. So I'm not getting into the economic figures and all that, but yes, Delhi is a surplus state. Delhi has got 4.61 per capita lakh per capita income. Delhi has got almost 90% literacy rate. Delhi has got a very modern outlook. There is a metro all around. So it's a beautiful city. Though they don't have to do much. But if they plan, execute, then Delhi can be model for the rest of the country, and BJP will feel proud of it. But I doubt, because BJP doesn't have that kind of a talent. And it is where I'm little worried. They don't have, do they have a leader like Sheila Dikshit who totally transformed Delhi? I don't see anybody of that stature. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. You never know. Appoint somebody who can do a brilliant work. My good wishes. But I'm still very skeptical about how the BJP government will work in Delhi.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh, for joining on HW. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.